to get accepted in, you have to go through some pretty oftentimes difficult trials. I'm making it sound like an anime. It's not like an anime.
Swept away again.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Blitz Brigade, where today I wasn't really sure what I wanted to make a video on. I know that I didn't really have any ideas for an honest attempt at the moment. Speaking of which, if you have one, please leave it in the comments section below. So today it's going to be a little bit more discussionary, we'll call it. Also, I just heard that the special snowflake is actually secretly a tap weapon, and I wanted to investigate that. So, because I am both a terrible person and a curious person, I'm going to be using the special snowflake today to investigate that claim. And so far, it's looking fairly true because it already had a suspiciously high fire rate. But when I tap it, it seems to go just as quickly as my thumb can pound the screen. Why do I keep doing that? I keep talking during respawn screens. I'm supposed to edit that out. But anyway, so I figured I've got a couple topics to discuss, and I figure I might start with the first one today at least. I should have moved out of the way. If the special snowflake gets to be a little bit boring, I might move over to the drum hammer or something like that. I got some of my favorite weapons equipped onto some of my classes, so we're just going to play around today. I saw a comment recently on sort of an older video. It was basically like how to make friends, and I'm going to limit that to how to make friends in college. Because college is it is exactly what parents say it is. It's the best time of your life. It goes too fast. For those of you who don't know, I am 22. I'm in my last semester of college, so I've seen the ins and out of it. But for the most part, it's just really intimidating when you're coming out of high school and you have to go into college and make new friends, because sometimes what happens is that you do stop hanging out with some of your high school friends. I mean, it's difficult to say that you do hang out with them all the time because you're not under circumstances anymore that lead you to see them every single day. And I was lucky because I actually went to college with a few of my older high school friends, but we were studying different things, so we were oftentimes on the complete opposite ends of campus. Oh dear. Oh man, somebody's really covered this area with mines. Pardon me while I try to split my thought process between Blitz Brigade. This is live! This is live commentary. This ain't scripted. I thought of this right before I turned the record button on. So here's the start of my advice. Sit down in class, in your first class, and talk to whoever's sitting next to you. Because you know who's going to be in all of your classes from now on? It's going to be the person that's sitting next to you. The only variable in that situation is, if they drop the class, in which case you talk to somebody else. Sit down, talk to someone next to you with the intent to come out of that conversation knowing something new about them. Learn their major. Learn what they like to do in their spare time. Heck, learn their favorite color. It doesn't matter. Get to know that person. Get their contact information, just so that way, I don't want this to become a how to survive college video. But, because that's a little bit too broad. But regardless, get their contact information. That way, just in case one of you misses class, you can ask for support. It's so fun to be able to swap classes whenever I feel like it. Just because I don't have to be bound to a weapon like in honest attempts. And beyond sitting next to someone in class, try joining some fun extracurricular activities on campus. And I don't necessarily mean frats or sororities, because the little known thing about that until you actually get into college is you have to pay for those. You have to pay for frats, you have to pay for sororities. They're called dues, you pay sometimes monthly, yearly fees to be a part of them. So in a way, it's kind of like paying for friends. Instead, there are loads of other things that you can get involved in on campus. You can volunteer your time for a cause. My school has an esports club. If you want, you can join a club and play Smash, get better at Smash with other people. What I chose to join for a while, in fact, if you go into some of my older montages on the channel, you'll see that I chose to do rowing. And that directly ties in with my first point. I actually joined the rowing team with one of my friends that I met by talking to them in my first class. It was my first class on my second day of college, because I had different classes on alternating days, so my Monday, Wednesday was different from my Tuesday, Thursday. I had spoken to him in class, got to know him a little bit, and out of nowhere we were just like, hey, you wanna join the rowing team? And so we did, and I invited one of my friends from high school to join us as well. Suddenly we had a core squad, and it just kept growing. It was really great, and it unlocked... I met a lot of people through that rowing team. And also, since I hadn't done sports in high school, it had brought a newfound, like, confidence, it brought athleticism into my life. All of a sudden, I was in the best shape I had ever been in. Which leads into my third and final point. Do things with those friends that you make in class. So you've talked to the people in class, you've gotten their contact information, heck, you may have even joined a club. But what's most important is that you do it with the people you want to foster relationships with. If you and that person in class really hit it off, join a club together. You don't even have to do anything to that extent if you don't want to. What I chose to do is I actually was just going to work out at the rec center on campus because because there's a free gym. A lot of schools, a lot of universities have free gyms that you can attend as long as you're a student. You only have to pay if either you're not a student or it's during the summer. And I ran into one of my friends from class, told him where I was going, and I was like, hey, you want to join in? Working out is a spectacular way to get to know someone. I'm a big believer in, one, not working out alone, because oftentimes it can be dangerous. It's good to have somebody there to check your form. Why do I keep hitting the fire button and I put it there? That's the stupid part. It's great to have somebody there to check your form, also to spot you just in case, and it's a fun, sometimes competitive, but it's an environment where you're both looking to grow and you can do it together. Now, if that isn't a situation to foster a friendship, you tell me what is. So that is more or less how I went about making friends in college, and beyond that, once you're in those situations, you can find common interests really easily. Now it's like I've got friends, like all of these situations that I've been talking about through this video happened in my very first year of college, actually my first semester of college. And these friends that I made went through my whole 4 years at school. So I hope this really helped, or at the very least gave you a little bit of insight into what it's like to go into college and without friends. But these are just base tips. I know it can be hard to sit down and talk to somebody that you've never spoken to before, especially if you were quiet in high school like I was. In high school, I was the guy, I'd sit in the back. I wouldn't speak to people. Not unless I knew them, of course, or unless like I met them on the school bus going home and I had extended interaction with them for like hours at a time. I had to get to know people. I didn't open up like that until college. And what's really nice though is that in high school, middle school, stuff like that, people have preconceived notions about you. Whatever somebody's first impression of you was in freshman year is likely going to carry through all the way to graduation. And that isn't fair because people change. People grow into their own. Thanks, Blitz Brigade. I know I got an assisted kill. People grow into their own person. You learn things about yourself. You become someone. And it's not fair to be labeled as what you were when you were a freshman or, God forbid, like middle school. If it's one of those schools where you go middle school and then it's assumed that you go to that school's connected high school. Anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video for a little while after I saw that comment. I really hope this helped a little bit, or at least gave you a little bit of insight into what to do to get friends when you're going into a situation where a lot of your pre-made friends won't be there. And it can be even more intimidating if you're going out of state, but trust me, college is legitimately the best time of your life. If you manage to make friends in high school, you'll have no trouble making them in college. In fact, it'll be even easier because if you think about this objectively, everybody else in class is in the exact same situation that you are. They just want to make friends in this new situation. Alright guys, well thank you so much. I know this was a bit heavier of a topic than I normally cover on the channel. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.